Where's my countdown? Here we go. All right. Okay, welcome everybody. You're in for a huge treat. We are here with Sue B. Zimmerman, the Instagram expert, the Instagram queen. She's amazing, hilarious, and I'm so excited to have her here. And we are also broadcasting this live on Periscope. So if you're on Periscope, make sure you follow at Sue B. Zimmerman and on Twitter, of course. My name is Danny J of the Sweaty Betties. I am in the middle of a rebrand, so I'm switching over to DannyJ.com. So you might find me in a few places, and that's a whole other story that's being worked on. And I think it's fun for you guys to follow along to see how I've been rebranding. So it's kind of fun. But Sue, welcome to this interview, and thank you for coming today.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm here, and I was glad that we thought about let's go live on Periscope. Let's broadcast this as much as we can, as my friend Brian Fanzo always does. You know, when we speak from stage, he's got Meerkat going on, Periscope going on. And when I spoke at Social Media Day in San Diego, even though there were 423 people in the room, there was a combined total of over 1,000 people that actually saw my presentation. So the more people I can reach, teach, and inspire, the better this world will be.
That is amazing. I'm so obsessed with Periscope. I just found out about it literally 3 weeks ago. So I moved to Utah from Dallas. It was a 3-day drive, and I think it was the second day. I found out about it in April, but I couldn't get on right then. I had a messed up phone. So I logged on, and literally my first scope was a complete accident. I hit broadcast, and I'm staring, and I'm like, so what do you do? And people started typing. I'm like, hey, they're talking to me. It was completely ridiculous, but so fun, and I love that people can be here and really get to know us on another level. I have seen that with you. When I started following you, I thought I just am so obsessed, and I love your personality. So I'm really excited about this, and so cool that we're doing this twice.
Yeah, for sure.
So, okay, so let me, what this is for is my friend Rebecca and I, we have a course called Social Academy. We've been doing it for 2 years, and probably this will be our 5th or 6th launch. We update it all the time, and we haven't even done a course in about a year. So obviously in the last year, so much has changed in social media, Periscope, of course, and then Instagram has blown up even more. So I'm gonna just give you a little nugget about you that you may not know, and just telling what a jerk I am. So I think I found out about you maybe in 2013. I went to a couple Brendan Burchard events, and somehow I think I came across Michael Hyatt, and you might've been coaching with him. And I remember seeing some posts saying the Instagram expert or the Instagram queen. So I went to your Instagram, and I had more followers than you. So I thought, what does she know about Instagram? I have more followers. And I didn't know till later that you actually had built this amazing business, multiple businesses and brands. And so I kind of just dismissed you until I met Amy Schmittauer. She's a good friend of mine, and she's actually done an interview for our Social Academy as well. And she goes, Sue is amazing. She's genius. You have to give her a second chance. And so I started kind of stalking you and going, you know what? This chick really knows what's up. So tell us real quick about your past brands and everything you've built up into, because you had a multi-million-dollar business when you were like 22 or something. So where did you begin? Just so people know, like, you know your shit, and you know what's going on with business.
Yeah, so before I take you back in time, let me just touch on the comment you made about, you know, how can you be an expert? I have more followers than you do.
Right.
I have 7 Instagram accounts. So my combined followers are over 30,000 followers. And
yeah,
we can talk about why I have so many different accounts in the interview if you want to. But I built this place, this very focused niche for myself after attending Brendan Burchard's Expert Academy. So you got that right. 2013, I went into that conference thinking that I was going to be teaching an online course about retail, because I do have a store here on Cape Cod, and social media, because I've been teaching social media for 8 years. I know every single platform. I'm on every platform. Sue B. Zimmerman is everywhere. I'm very lucky. I have my name everywhere. I have very consistent branding. And that's what I was going to come out of that 4-day conference, putting together an online course on teaching social media for retailers, because no one really knew how to do retail well, in my mind, as a social media / retailer. So the last day of the conference, I sat next to somebody, Don Crother, who was a disciple or a good friend of Jeff Walker. I might be saying names that people don't know who they are. Just write them down and look them up. Yeah. And Don turned to me at dinner and said, hey, I'm Don Crowther. Who are you and what do you do? And I'm like, I'm Sue Zimmerman and I teach social media. I have a store. And he said, what's your favorite platform? And I said, hello, Instagram. He's like, I don't even use Instagram. What does Instagram do? And I said, you're not the only one that doesn't use Instagram. Nobody here at Experts Academy 2013, 800 people in the room, knew how to use Instagram. Every single break, lunch break or break, I was teaching people how to geotag, how to post, what relevant content meant, how to really create an account for business, not for your digital personal scrapbook. So all the light bulbs went off, and being an entrepreneur and having 18 businesses and being like Malcolm Gladwell, the tipping point, I knew that I needed to declare myself as the Instagram gal, because I was following, like many of you probably are, people like Melanie Duncan and Amy Porterfield, Facebook, Pinterest, and putting like a face behind a platform and going all in and teaching it with purpose and passion and relevancy. Because like many of you, I am a small business owner. So I'm not someone stepping on stage and saying, I'm the Instagram expert. I'm saying I have had success in my business, growing my store 40%, using these strategies, and now I'm going to teach them to you. And so after I came back from that conference in May 2013, which is probably when you first heard of me, I put my cell phone, hello Subi-Doo on the phone, because I'm all about branding, in the tree, and I declared, this video's over on YouTube, you all can go watch it, that I was going to become the Instagram expert. I manifested this business for myself, and I've always been able to kind of picture, manifest, and quite frankly, just work really hard getting whatever I want. And I knew I wanted to be really a player online, teaching, empowering, helping other business owners all over the globe understand the power of Instagram. And so it's been a little over 2 years. It's so super exciting. I've grown a multiple six-figure, heading to seven-figure business in this space. I've been on hundreds of podcasts, written many blog posts, contributed to many book chapters, and I'm writing my own book right now called Instagram Pocket Guide. And I've taught 2 Instagram courses on the stage at Creative Live, both which were 18 hours each. So talking about Instagram marketing, I could talk about it for 36 hours nonstop.
Wow.
Yeah. And I am going to be creating my 3rd Creative Live course this November, and it's all about connecting your social media buttons. So I don't just teach Instagram, but everyone knows me as the Instagram expert, because what's so vitally important in business, and I'm sure you can agree with this, is that the more you get known in doing one thing really well, then you can open up channels to have multiple revenue for other things that you love to do. So for example, I have my store. I'm also a business coach. I do strategy sessions. I have a team, and we have like a team coaching program that we do. And we have a lot of online courses and ebooks and ways that you can purchase without us literally giving you our time. And this is that online space that we all want to have, so that we have the passive income like Pat Flynn talks about over and over again on his amazing podcast. And I've had the privilege of speaking on so many stages and meeting all these amazing online rock stars, if you will, and authentically connecting with them and getting to know them. And that's the second thing, is these relationships that we also love to be connecting to every day on Periscope and Instagram and online. My suggestion to each and every one of you is that you've got to make the investment to physically be with the people you admire and learn from and want to mentor with, because the reason I've climbed to where I am so quickly is because I've done that, and I've connected to all, in my mind, the right people, the people that authentically give and care and want to grow a community. So that's where I am now. I'll take a little pause, check back in with you, and then I can go back in time and let everyone know kind of how I set myself up for success in this space, if you want me to.
Well, I love that already, because, you know, everything you set an intention to do it. I will say for myself, and even just to tell you that's what I thought is embarrassing, because I think I had to eat a little slice of humble pie, because I've realized that people with large followings and big lists and numbers aren't necessarily making money and making a business. And I mean, you can see it all along. There's tons of fitness models and people out there on Instagram who have millions of followers who don't make a dime. And there's people with smaller followings who are really leveraging and building a business. So I can learn so much from you. And my instant thought was, you know, obviously very snotty and ignorant. And I think you were a genius for seeing that Instagram was up and coming, because I remember at that time, people were starting to talk about, I had an Android phone, so I couldn't get on Instagram at the beginning. And I was a bit dismissive of the whole thing. But now, where Facebook was my platform and where I built an audience, I think the relationships are the same. I mean, a lot of the underlying things are all the same, right? Relationships on Periscope, relationships in all of your business. But I think Instagram is so big now, and you are somebody who sees trends before they start, and I think it's brilliant. And yeah, it's amazing. And what I also loved was that you did have businesses before. I think there's a lot of people out there in this sphere that train people on how to build a business, and their business is building businesses, but they've never actually had a business. And so that is, like, for me, like how you said you have new products and programs and services, but my initial business was personal training. I did fitness training, group training, and then I moved that into online. I started training other trainers how to build an online business and how to leverage their time instead of doing getting paid for the hour and just having a max out. And so I think it's important, if you're teaching business, that you've had a business and you have multiple things that you've done, and you can teach many things. So I know that the Instagram is not your only expertise now. You're brilliant at branding, obviously, and I think that's super important. So I think we can even skip where you came from, because people can look that up. Actually, I meant to read your bio and I pulled it up and I completely forgot, so I apologize. But I want to just get into some nuts and bolts for what people can do. Like, tell me why you think Instagram is so powerful right now, and what are the 3 best tips you can use to leverage it? Like, is it graphic? Is it design? Is it the hashtags? Is it the relationships? What are your best tips for leveraging it?
Yeah, well, okay, so Instagram is my favorite sandbox. I like to say that, meaning my favorite platform of all, and I am everywhere. I am a visual thinker, and I see things so much faster. You know, most people process visuals 60,000 times faster than text, and you can tweet that out. For those of you that want to take a screenshot of any of this interview, I like to be a little bossy, because I'm from Boston. I like to tell you guys what to do, but consider these call to actions, and consider this a lesson to all of you, because it's so important to tell people what you want them to do if you want to get results. I want to get results growing my business every day. So I tell people to follow me on Instagram at @Zimmerman, or come on over to @the Instagram expert. But when you come over and give me a follow, don't just stop there. Tell me that you came over from this interview, so that I know the efforts of our time was valued in a way that is giving you value to come over and follow us. Or if you're on Twitter, take a screenshot and tweet us and let us know that you're watching this. It's so fun to see the conversation and the engagement off the platform that you're on. I love Instagram for so many reasons. Mostly, I grow an insanely intimate community every single day, whether it's on my @Instagal Live account, where it was built off of my success of my Creative Live courses, where I have almost 4,000 incredibly creative followers there that focus in the craft, do-it-yourself, solopreneur space, or photographers. Like, that's my niche on that account. Or whether it's my Cape Cod retail store on the Cape, where I sell, this is my logo. This is my Scooby-Doo logo. And where I sell clothing, jewelry, and accessories with a total nautical vibe of being on the Cape. Or my personal account, Zimmerman. This is where I share everything I'm doing. Instagram, I love it. It's my digital scrapbook for me personally, and it's a way that I can humanize my brand. People feel so connected to me based on how I post on Instagram. When I speak on stage, they often reference a photo. Maybe it's one with my twin daughters, or a vacation I took, or my dog Cody, my little cockapoo, or maybe it's just my whole nautical vibe that they love on Instagram. They come up to me, people come up to me and they say, oh my God, you really are that high energy, fun person on Instagram. And I'm like, well, who else would I be? Because, you know, you can be whoever the heck you want to be online. And a lot of people aren't the real dealio in person. That's not true with Subi. So I love that you can share, I call it a digital scrapbook. It chronologically showcases your life. It's my photo album. I don't print my photos. Who the heck does that anymore? So I love it for that reason. I also love it. Let's talk business. So business, the Instagram expert, my business account is where I teach daily tips, tools, and strategies on how to anchor, LOL, nautical word there, your brand on Instagram. Okay, so if you need to understand Instagram to have success in your business, and you don't have the time to look at Subi Zimmerman all day, or my Cape account, or my Instagal Live, or my team account, we've got SBZ Team on Instagram. That's all the behind the scenes of what we do as a company. Go to the Instagram expert and look at our tips there. That will help you. What are some tips? Well, you know, I can absolutely give you 3, but there's like 100. So my number 1 tip is, okay, first let's start this off with, don't ever use a third-party app to try to get more followers, because every day people message me, DM me, and they say they've lost their Instagram account, like gone. And I say, and what third-party app did you use today to try to gain new followers? And wow. I'm not going to name them, but know that you risk losing your account because they don't all comply with Instagram's API, okay? Which means Instagram doesn't want third-party apps trying to gamify the follow. You need to earn the follow. You should never ask follow for follow, shout out for shout out. You should gain a follow by giving value in what you do. So maybe you get 1, 2, or 3 new followers a day. Congratulate yourselves. Nurture those relationships. Send a direct message video saying, thanks so much for being a new follower. Let me know if I can help you in any way. You have 15 seconds to create an awesome video. I do a welcome video frequently on my Subi Zimmerman account to get people to come over to my business account, because I really want to grow my business account. Now I have over 14,000 followers on Subi Zimmerman, and I have over 12,000 followers on the Instagram expert. And that's because I started Subi Zimmerman first, but my rate of growth is so much faster on my business account, because people really want that Instagram information more than they want to know who I am. So you've got to be very strategic.
I have to stop you on this and just like give you like a hallelujah, amen. And people here on Periscope are saying that too. Be organic. I am one that I had, you know, I know people in the industry who bought their Twitter followers, bought their Facebook fans. I have never done such a thing. I don't believe in it. I think it's awful. And I just saw recently, and I got a little bit of a kick out of it when Instagram kind of knocked a lot of the fake follows off. And I saw people go from 15,000 follows to 3,000 overnight. And it's just not worth it. Number one, if you're selling to people, if you're trying to create a business, those aren't buyers anyway. They're not real. They're spam bots. Who knows what they are. It's not worth it. I always go by this quote from one of my mentors, which is be faithful with the little things. And I think if you have 100 people, quote unquote, only 100, if you're not faithful and just giving those 100 people all you have, why would the universe or God or anyone give you 200 or 1,000 or 100,000? You have to be so good and raw with those 100 that you have, or those 1,000 that you have, because if you're not, then I don't think you deserve to have any more. So I really love that. I didn't even know that you could buy Instagram followers for a while. And then of course, I think you could do probably Periscope too at some point, but just don't do it. It's just not the way to grow.
Exactly. And I know by looking, if it says you have 30,000 followers and you're only getting 10 likes on your photo, I know that you purchased followers, and I kind of don't really trust you or your work ethics. It just doesn't align with who I am. So it's not just, everyone starts with 0. Everyone, even me. And you know, I grow my Instagram account 100 new followers a day, which is super exciting. But it took a lot of time and a lot of hustle for other people to be telling people to follow me. Like, I don't have to broadcast myself as much anymore because I've got so many great buzz agents, all my little busy bees, all of you guys out there broadcasting for me. And that feels huge and that feels successful. And, you know, when other people talk about you and you don't really have to talk about yourself and what you do, it's a beautiful thing. So for those of you listening on Periscope, tap it up, tap those hearts up. This is one of my new signs, which I love. I bring it on.
I need one. I'm buying one. That's amazing. Yeah. You guys, I'm always asking for hearts. I'm like, sometimes I'll have a goal of each broadcast. All right, we have to get this many or I'm not shutting up until we get that many hearts.
Yeah, I was really excited when I surpassed a million hearts. My brain needs to see them because I need to see the color and the movement. And I have a lot of friends on here right now. I want to give a few shout outs. Lori, thanks for being here. Lynn Rose, thanks for being here. I do sell these hashtag signs. Anyone that wants to order one, you know, I do, again, I give out my phone number. It works for me. 781-354-3539. I can send you guys a link to buy your own phone. I'll put it in here. Hey, Lynn, it's so good to have you on here. So yeah, if you guys want to sign, I can do any sign. Of course, behind me, you see my Insta Fun. Last night when I did my webinar, it was Insta Academy. I use it wherever I go. It's like, it's all about the hashtags, you guys. And that's why I paint my nails.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So your first big tip is obviously don't buy, earn your follows.
Yeah, first and foremost, do not gamify with third-party apps. The biggest tip I can tell all of you is, I said it at the beginning, and it may sound obvious, it's engaging. Because when you engage, not just here on Periscope and I can see your name and I can see your avatar, same is true on Instagram. That little circle is smaller than a dime, but it should have your smiling face in there so I see you. I don't want your logo if you're a business owner. If you're a photographer, I could care less about your logo. Show me a great photo. This woman was making cookies yesterday. She had like her cookie logo. I'm like, show me the cookies. Like, if you're on Instagram for business, it has to make sense with what your avatar is. So the more that you engage and literally comment in a way like this, if someone has educated you, entertained you, made you smile, made you laugh, inspired you, tell them why on the post. Leave a friggin' comment. You owe it to them. They are the content creator. You got some value. Tell them what it is. And if you don't have time to friggin' type it, talk to Siri. She told you I was funny, and that's me being funny. Like, literally, I'm talking to my phone all the time if I don't have time to type it. And tell that person why you like their content. They will see you frequently and most likely come back and at least say thank you, at least give you some double taps and likes, and yes, more eyeballs get on your post with every like. And they may even follow you if they like what they see in your bio. And if they don't like what they see in your bio, that's a whole nother conversation, but I have you covered because Subi does Insta bios as a service if you need one. Just saying.
Yes. So that's huge. It's the same thing I used to say on Facebook. You got to engage, right? What I used to do, people would ask me, what did I do? I spent so much time at the beginning going to other fitness pages, going to other people, leaving comments, sharing their content, not expecting anything back. If somebody gave great content and I thought my audience would appreciate, I would share or tag people, maybe tag your friends if you see something that they're interested in so that they can follow. And I think that's beautiful and brilliant. I think you give what you want to get, right? So if you want comments, if you want follows, if you want shares, if you want tags, then you need to do the same thing. You're not just a broadcaster and hoping that everybody's going to flock to you. So smart.
Yes. And then, you know, for other tips, you know, now as of June 23rd, Instagram changed the explore button, which is so exciting. So you can really explore and use the geotag feature. So you should be using the geotag, which is literally where you can put a hyperlink where you are, especially if you're a physical location or if you want to be seen in that geotag, because there's trending places and there's trending hashtags. So you want to not only use geotags when it's appropriate. For example, if you attend a conference and there's 800 people in the room and you can't meet everybody, use the geotag. You'll see everybody else that's using the geotag, and you can connect with like-minded business owners and entrepreneurs who you might not necessarily have met at the conference. Separately, there are now 16 trending hashtags every single day. And if you don't know what hashtag to use, go into the trending tags and see, do any of those align with your brand, your core values, your brand message? And use one of those trending hashtags, because you will show up in the recent hashtag hub, and eyeballs, random eyeballs, might get on your post, and you might get some more followers that way. I do have a beginner Instagram course, like I said, Ready, Set, Gram, and we go over all of this in detail, and I'm happy to share more here if you have questions.
Yeah, well, I definitely want people to find your programs and use it, because obviously you have, I mean, if you did 18 hours, 2 days of Creative Live, you have so much info. There's not enough to even talk about today. But that right there was gold, guys. The trending topics, the trending hashtags, and the Explore, check that out. That is huge. And I just have to say, I'd never even thought about using the geotags like at an event. That's brilliant, and something that's like a gold nugget I just got right now that I'm going to write down, because it's something I completely wouldn't have thought of. I'll tell you probably why was, I remember when it was Square or Foursquare, where you tag where you were at. I had a little bit of a stalker issue, so I stopped doing any geotagging and I turned off all of my locations. But in a large space like that, that's so smart. So thank you. I love that one.
So let me just tell you a couple of really funny stories with the geotag. I've never had anyone be nasty to me or do anything obnoxious. I'll just block people if they're jerks. But because I do geotag, and I do have fans all over the globe, when I was getting my nails done, where my store is on the Cape, there's a little nail place, and I have someone who was literally stalking me from Creative Live, and her family was vacationing on the Cape, and she thought it would be so great. She'd come to my store and she would meet Scooby-Doo, and I wasn't there, and my employee said, oh, she's getting her nails done, because I get my nails done all the time. And she literally came in and she's like, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm like sitting next to you right now. I'm like, who are you? Like, I'm a super fan. I found you from your geotag. I followed your store. I got here. I'm so excited. I'm a photographer. I love what you do on Creative Live. You're amazing. And can we just take an Instagram photo? I'm like, yeah, and you're a photographer? Let me see your work. Well, Sarissa at Immerse Photography is my phenomenal photographer now. She is the one that does all my photo shoots. You've probably seen some of them here on the harbor on the Cape. And then this winter, I flew her in and we did another one in Boston, and she's flying in again in August to do another one, because I'm really big into photo shoots and always having the right picture. So she stalked me. She's now my photographer. Separately, when I went to Brendan Bouchard in Sydney, Australia last summer with one of my clients, I had a stalker again, and he left me a box of chocolates at the concierge at the Four Seasons and said, this is for Susie Zimmerman. And I'm like, oh my God, there's so many chocolates here. This is amazing. Who are you? And this was Chocolate Johnny, that some of you may know. And he, I invited him to our penthouse networking event. We had it on the top floor. It was amazing. And he brought chocolate for everybody. And I'm like, Johnny, let's do a YouTube video. So that is on YouTube. It is hysterical, you guys. The story of how Chocolate Johnny and I connected. And then subsequently, when I taught my second Creative Live course, which was 3 days, they were all 3 days, he was in the audience. He flew in and became an audience participant. And so I know that Chocolate Johnny's all over Periscope, loving Periscope, and using it in a big way for his retail business. I've done a lot of mentoring for him and really helping him establish himself, specifically on Instagram. And I love seeing that he's found his favorite place. But these are stalkers who have become friends. And this is me telling you, like, meet the people you want to meet. I'm extremely approachable. I'm extremely accessible. I really understand people's challenges in business. And I know that I can help so many people resolve them. So I make myself very accessible. So those are because of the geotag. He knew exactly where I was. And then the last one the last one is when I was in Toronto speaking at a travel conference, Natoya, who is a makeup artist, drove an hour after work, seeing that I was speaking at the hotel because I geotagged it. She knew I was there. And she found me, brought her tripod, brought her camera, wanted to do an interview. And she's like, I've been following you on Creative Live. You're amazing. You're in my, home city. I had to meet you. And she was adorable. I'm like, do you want to be in my next audience on Creative Live? And she too was in the audience. So her, Chocolate Johnny, and Sarissa, all my stalkers who follow my geotags, like, where's Subi right now? She's in my hometown, and now they're friends.
It's hashtag Subi Stalker. Hashtag Subi. See, you had fantastic stalker experiences. I, on the other hand, almost needed to get police involved. So, but I will say this, it's all about branding, right? So my brand at the time when I had these stalkers, I was doing more fitness modeling, and there's definitely an interesting subculture of that. Now that I have a completely different brand, I'm completely open. My parents and a lot of people get worried about privacy. I'm not so worried about privacy. I'm kind of like you. I would throw out my phone number, my address now at this point. It was a few years ago, and I did have some crazy experiences that I won't talk about on here because they were definitely not Chocolate Johnny. If I had stalkers sending me chocolate, I would ask for more stalkers all the time. But instead, I was getting different kinds of things sent to me, and it was no fun, but that's fun. I actually really love that. I think people love to connect, and I probably would be one of those stalkers. If I found out you were in my town, I would just show up and get my nails done. Totally. I'm weird like that, and I would totally do that. And this is how I meet tons of people. Amy Schmittauer, I started following her when she had like 200 people on YouTube. And what I loved about her was that she just stayed consistent. And this is a pure example of faithful with the little things. She was just consistent, talking to a few people, and she just grew and grew and grew. And we've been friends, and I just messaged her, like, did what you said. Send her YouTube, or sent her a message on her emails. Hey, I love your stuff, would love to share it. She wasn't super big. She came to Dallas, we hung out a couple times, and I think it's super important to just connect with people, go to those events, invest in your training. I was at Brendan Burchard's event. Look at all the people and connections you made from that as well. It's just, it's great. It's really awesome.
Yeah, Amy's awesome. I love Amy. We spoke together in Texas. I knew who Amy was too because she's adorable on YouTube. How can you not like obsessed about her? And as soon as we met, we're like, okay, sister, let's get outside. We're doing a YouTube video, stat. So we got a great YouTube video on her channel, her and I, about Instagram, and then she had me on her podcast. And since then, she and I have been on stages together a lot. And then I was her guest speaker in New York when she was doing her live Savvy Sexy Social, events. I went and was a part of that. Amy, so Amy is friggin' awesome and so much fun. And I learn a lot from her about video because she's crazy ass good on video. Yes.
She's crazy ass good. Okay, I want to ask you one more question. I had some things written down, but besides, you actually gave one of them. I was going to ask about any new trends or any new updates in Instagram, because obviously Facebook changes all the time. Video is in there now. So besides the hashtag and things, are there any like ads or things like that that are going to be happening or that are happening with Instagram that maybe we don't know about? Is there paid promoted posting?
Ads are definitely coming soon, and I'm super excited. But one new update that happened yesterday, which is super exciting, is that the new app Legend that Instagram bought is now a feature that you can actually access right within the Instagram app. And we just did a post on that yesterday on the Instagram expert account, telling you exactly what you need to know to use that tool, which is really fun. You can spend a lot of time in the Legend app, making your image like a mosaic or mirror or multiple images. Super fun app called Legend. It's now accessible in the Instagram app. You don't have to go out of it to share it into Instagram. You said the word ads, and yes, they're coming, and it's going to be super exciting, I think. And we don't own Instagram. It's free, and you need to embrace and welcome any new updates and changes and play the way they want you to. I see it as an amazing revenue opportunity if you do it correctly. And in the Academy, we just launched the Insta Academy. Yesterday was our second webinar, and that's what you see in all of our links on Instagram is the sales page to the academy, which we're going to be teaching you everything. If you want to make money managing multiple Instagram accounts, that's the link that's there now. Yeah.
One thing I wish, and I don't know if the Instagram gods could hear me, is, and since you run multiple, I do have a couple multiple Instagram accounts as well, logging out and logging in, such a pain in the ass. So what do you do? Do you have other people running your different accounts at this point, or do you just log in and log out? And
I don't complain. I run every account. I know every password. They are all different on every account. I am an Instagram ninja, and because I make so much money doing what I do, I don't complain. And if you need to keep it in Evernote to grab your password, then just do that. I do have Rachel on my team that posts for me 3, sometimes 4 times a week on the expert account, but I post pretty much everywhere else except for the SBZ team. You guys totally should follow the SBZ team. This is our fun little account of all like the behind the scenes and everything that we do that's kind of quirky in our company to make us run the business the way that we do. And Rachel and Morgan are both in their 20s. They could be my daughters, by the way. So it's really fun to see like what matters to them and what matters to me, and then how the 3 of us work together. So SBZ team is that fun account. We're almost, I think we have almost 800 followers there, which is pretty cool. For like, yeah, 759. So
I need to create a list of all these. So we got SBZ team, Instagal Live, Subi-Doo, Subi Zimmerman.
Subi-Doo.KCOD is the store. Subi Zimmerman is my personal. The Instagram expert is the other, and then the.daily.ig is where I do quotes, inspirational quotes. We've got over 1,000 followers there. And the Academy, Insta.Academy, which is a private Instagram account. You only get access if you invest in the Academy.
Oh, very cool. I like that idea as a bonus.
Instagram account for a course, first time ever.
So smart, so smart. Oh man, girl, I could talk to you all day. I actually have some ideas. Somebody had asked thoughts on Insta sales and sales directly in Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, you can use Spreezy. Spreezy is a tool. We also have Short Stack, which is contest, and you can run them in the Instagram app. They're in the Academy. Heyo is another tool. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can monetize in the Instagram app. And of course, you can use that one custom bit.ly URL to direct people where you want to take them. You know, I posted a picture of my Instagram pillows, and within 1 hour, I sold every one of them. It was crazy. Wow. Yeah, they're all gone. That was funny.
Now, those signs behind you, are you hand painting those, or you don't?
No, I have a good friend of mine that makes them for me in California. They're wood, and they're all handmade. They are hand stenciled. And it's reclaimed wood, and then they're drilled the hole in the wire, and you can get it vertical, or you can get it with just a hook, and you can hang it, vertical, horizontal, or vertical, and you can get whatever you want on these signs. So my signs have gone viral all over the internet, and we get hashtag sign orders every day. I knew that the signs were going to be huge, and I tried selling them at my store on the Cape. But the minute I started taking them to all my conferences and using them as a prop, that's when they went viral, because we all posted them on Instagram, and I always bring one on stage, and I always make one for every conference I go to and give it to the conference producer. And so everyone wants a hashtag sign, because you know what? It looks really good behind you when you're doing videos too.
It so does. I'm buying a bunch, and I'm buying them for all my friends who do online business. So now we're out $200 today. Thank you so much.
You are most welcome. The other fun thing, oh, where is it? Oh, this is another great item. My little Instagram pillows. These are hand crocheted. I sell these too. Aren't they cute?
Oh, see, I also love that you have multiple streams of income. You have multiple streams of revenue. You have so many great ideas, and you are truly authentic and yourself. You are hilarious. I saw your first Periscope, not your first Periscope, but my first Periscope. I saw you live, and I had only heard about you through Amy, and I was like, Oh my God, I love this woman. She is so freaking funny. And oh, by the way, your hair looks amazing. I know you got a blowout, so I had to compliment your hair.
Yeah, so I don't know if you caught my scope this morning, but I did. Whenever I get on camera, I go and get a blowout. Okay, so that's my little splurge for Sue. And when Rachel's here, she does my makeup, and she's so good at makeup. But I rollerbladed to get my hair, because where I go to get my hair blow dry, it's so gorgeous out. I didn't get out to exercise this morning. And yes, if you're going to be a successful business person, you need to do self-care. And for me, it's having green smoothies, getting my hair blown, and exercising, and you know, just all that good stuff, getting massages. And so I rollerbladed there, and I'm like, oh, I should release Periscope. This could be fun. So I Periscoped, and I said, do you guys want to come with me when I skate back? And I'll take you to the marina near the ferry to the vineyard. And everyone's like, yeah. So I put my helmet on and my skates, and everyone came on a little rollerblade with me this morning. So if any of you missed that, it's live for the next 22 hours. And I show you where I am right now. And it's a kind of a fun and different way to do Periscope, for sure.
I was actually on right until about that point, because I had a scheduled scope at 10 a.m. Eastern, and I got off probably right before, because I saw you took a picture of your blades, and I saw your wrist guards, and I was like, she is so darn cute. I just love you. You're adorable. Just the real deal. I just want to say thank you for your time and these tips and insights. I think it goes across all platforms, honestly, but you guys, if you want more details, you really need to dig in on Instagram. Dig in on Periscope. If you're here on Periscope, good for you. Some people are still here. Let's see some hearts if you're all still here. We had some good comments. I was trying to kind of look back and forth, but
there's 25. Yeah, there's 25 people on. I keep, you know, I'm getting a bad reception on. I can't see the scope, but I can see the comments. And I just, I'm saying hi to a lot of my friends here, because I did invite people twice. So yeah, thank you for being here. I love, you know, Periscope. Oh my goodness. Early adopter. Of course, I'm there as soon as I saw it and experienced it. I love to be a trendsetter. I always have, ever since I was 13. And Periscope is a game changer. One of the reasons I get so many followers on Instagram is because I talk about it on Periscope every day.
I'll tell you why I think Periscope is a game changer as well. Just a comment you said earlier is that you can be someone else online. You can be whoever you want. But Periscope, you have to be you, and you see who people really are. And I think it's such a game changer in that way. Your personality is going to come through. People are going to know you. You're going to connect or not. And I've seen people who, I mean, and you've probably seen it, just have huge Instagram followings, Facebook followings. They get on video where they talk, and you're like, whoa, that is not who I expected. So I think this is totally a game changer. I'm obsessed. I love it. Yeah. And I just can't get enough.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. It's funny to me what people like about seeing what I do on Periscope. And a lot of what I do, obviously, is teach Instagram strategies and tips. And I do Skype scopes where I bring on experts. But also, the one I did a couple nights ago with Rachel and Sunny Lenarduzzi, who has an amazing YouTube channel, we were just kind of like hanging out, having fun, and just answering questions. People friggin' love that. We had like 150 people on. And they, again, back to like getting to know your personality and who you really are. Like, I am not working 24/7, even though it might appear that way to all of you guys. I love what I do. I have fun with what I do. My husband is outside right now. I'm like, honey, don't come in the house. I'm on an interview. The dog's upstairs in the bedroom. I make time to do pretty much every interview that I'm asked to do, because you never know who I can touch that's a part of my guests, you know, my interviewees network. And so I'm thrilled to be here and to be a part of this. And it's been a fun interview. Yes, I think you just froze. Are you okay?
There we go. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that you took time to do it and you made it super simple. I think you can never get too big to still talk to people. And I think there's always people you can reach and touch. There's somebody who's never seen you before, who you never know whose lives you can touch. So I so appreciate it. You guys, make sure you're following Sue B. Zimmerman on Periscope, on Twitter, and then I will get a list of all of those Instagrams. I took a screenshot earlier. I'm going to post it on Instagram. Tag all your Instagram accounts. Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram at DannyJ.com, and it's spelled DannyJDotcom, DannyJ.com. And keep an eye out for Social Academy. We're going to have this. Sue's interview will be there forever, so you can watch it again, take lots of notes if you got in late. And Sue, I just do appreciate you for coming on again. And tap it up. Let's give her one last heart blast. Heart blast. Woo! You know what's so funny? Whenever I talk about heart blast, I always want to tap my own screen, and then I mess it up and flip it around. I'm like, oh, whoops. Don't tap my own.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. We got some heart blasts. I love it. We've had at least 20 people staying on.
Yeah, and if people are watching this on the replay, you can still tap the hearts on the replay for Danny for sure.
Absolutely. Yep. Keep tapping. And definitely find us on Twitter, find us on Instagram, tell us what you loved, ask Sue some more questions. You can ask me some questions as well. And do appreciate you so much. And go order those signs. I'm about to go order like 10 of them. So my bank account is going to be empty and Sue's will be full. So thanks so much. See, this interview made you some money because it's going to come right out of my pocket.
All right. Thanks again, Danny. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm going to off Periscope. See ya. And